So last episode we set up this little mystical agriculture area in the mining dimension, but today I think we're going to be picking up and moving. So I think I may have mentioned this last episode, but if we place one of these teleport pads in the end, we end up in a wonderful void world called the Beyond. But I've been busy. That's right, y'all. We're going to be setting up a base right here in this awesome void world. It has a pretty cool day-night cycle. It actually stays dark all the time, but we still get to watch the moon and sun rise and set. So the first thing we're going to be getting set up over here is going to be that farm that I just picked up. I've got everything with me, so let's get that bad boy set up. Thanks to this little bit of packing tape right here, I was able to just pick my chest right on up, and I can slap it right back on top of there. And then we're going to get everything planted. Now that that's moved over, you may have saw some of the stuff I've got saved in my inventory. And that's right, we're going to be trying to get into a little bit of applied energistics today. So I'm over here right now making up some charged Certus quartz because of course we're going to need some Flux crystals. And thanks to the magic of mystical agriculture, I'll probably never have to make Flux again because now I can simply grow it. And now I can throw some stuff in these inscribers here that I made. I think calculation is diamond, or no, engineering is diamond. Is that right? Engineering is diamond? That might be wrong. Let's see here. Engineering is diamond, that's correct. Do they just not have power? No, they should have power. For whatever reason though, it doesn't seem to be wanting to make it. I think I figured it out. I have to set the pipe actually to pull out of the bottom of the generator, and then it should input into these now. Yep, and that'll start making some engineering presses or circuits, sorry. And then I'm also going to have to make some printed silicone over here, and I believe this one is set for logic, so I can throw some gold in there and start getting those going. I want to get into some power production now because I mean obviously we're going to have to power our applied energistic system, so we're gonna need a way to transfer it. So I think this is all I have to do, and I can turn my little magnet on right here and just throw all of this stuff into my backpack right there. This is going to be Flux Dust. This will get us into the mod Flux Networks. Now the reason that I'm floating right now is because there's a nasty dimension that you get teleported to if you stay at bedrock level for too long, and I'm not really trying to do that right now. As far as actually powering stuff, we're going to be using windmills. If I'm able to set them up, I think I may have gone a little bit too high. They work best as long as you are as high up as you can actually go. So I'm setting up a thing here in the mining dimension where we can be super high up and be able to get our windmills producing the most that they're able to produce. And thankfully for auto replacing my inventory, we're able to get those placed down pretty quick. They're producing about 200 FE per tick per windmill. This Flux Networks mod's pretty cool. I've showed it before. Basically, you can create a network here over than create a network. I have mine set to, actually have mine set to private, not encrypted. Encrypted requires a password, which is kind of pointless. But I have it set to a private network, Relatable Gaming's network. Just like that, a Flux plug is the input. And then all I gotta do is go back to my base. I can set up a Flux point wherever I want. And as long as it's connected to the network, just like this one right here is. Oop, I didn't mean to place that right there. Just like this one here. Place that on there. Boom. And now this bad boy is going to have power. In order to get an ME system going, we're going to need a few things. First off, we're going to need an ME controller, an ME drive, an ME crafting terminal, and finally, I can fill up my ME drive with item storage cells. And now I can simply throw whatever I want into my ME system. Now we have a little bit of a power setup going. I'm gonna make myself a builder from RF Tools Builder, and I'm gonna want myself a fortune quarry card here for that. Also gonna set a filter here for forge ores so that it will only mine ores. In order to set up the shape of our builder here, we're gonna shift right click on it. I'm gonna right click on this top corner and I'm gonna fly way over here. I'm gonna dig down to bedrock and we're gonna set the second corner. And now that I've done that, I can right click the quarry card into there. I can send my filter right into here. And all I gotta do is hook this bad boy up to power. And I'm gonna give it some inventory to put into. And now I believe that I should be good to say start. Redstone mode, ignored, and start. And we should start seeing some stuff come into here. Not enough room, no usable storage on top. Oh, it has to go on top. There we go. Now we should start seeing some ores coming into there. By the way, if you're setting this up, don't forget to upgrade your diamond chest with lots of stack upgrades, because now this thing should be able to fill up as much as I can possibly fit. This is something that I thought about. With Applied Energistics, we're gonna need a lot of covered cables, and the recipe for that uses wool, right? So we're gonna need a ton of wool. Well, I think the best way to do that is gonna be through mystical agriculture. But basically what I can do is throw wool in here to the soul extractor and fill up these soul jars with sheep essence, or whatever you want to call it. And with 4 full soul jars of sheep essence, we'll be able to make a sheep seed. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to take out as many sheep as I can, and we're going to try and get ourselves a sheep seed so that we can keep ourselves replenished on wool. The most efficient way of doing this is to get yourself a soulium dagger, have your soul jars in your inventory, and then go around and kill some sheep, because now you see I'm getting the drops from the sheep that I can input into the system, but I also am getting a little bit of sheep essence for every one that I kill. So it's a lot more efficient than just going around with my regular sword killing them. Now, in order to make our sheep seed, we're going to need a soulium seed base, which comes from this soulium dust that I got from the nether, and then just our 4 sheep essence soul jars, some prudentium, and there we go. That'll get us our sheep seed planted right here, as you just saw it grow up. And I also took the time to go ahead and set up a little bit of automation. I brought our supremium, insanium, and whatnot automation over here, and I also added our sheep essence, silicone essence, and diamond essence, and that's coming over here. Now here's a cool trick that I discovered. Get you an emerald furnace, put in a blasting augment and an augment generator, and I can actually feed this thing diamonds, which I'm creating at an absurd rate right now, and it's fully self-powering, so this whole thing keeps up with itself. I don't even have to mess with it. Back over in the mining dimension, I got a suggestion from Mr. Tukinet. I think we're going to try these out. These are heat generators from Mechanism. I'm going to hook them up with some advanced universal cables, also from Mechanism, and then slap that into a flux plug. And I think what I can do here is kind of open up this area, because you don't want it to flow all over the place. But I think I can place lava either in it or on it, just like that. Yep, that's exactly what I want right there. And that lava will flow around those, and they'll start producing energy for me. Let's see, the output is increasing slowly. The max output is 408 FE, but right now they're only producing about 30 FE per tick, so they're not great. They're decent, but it takes a lot of them if you want to do anything. Right here, we're probably producing about 120 FE per tick. So, not fancy. Yeah, there you go. So, 120 FE per tick. It was worth trying. It's not great. This thing's still struggling over here. I mean, it's getting us some stuff, but we're definitely not able to power it quite yet. I kind of want to get into getting some enchantments. So, y'all may remember this mod from last season of All the Mods 9. We're going to get into some easy villagers, and there's really no point in splitting these up. I'm just going to place them right there like that. And I'm going to throw 2 villagers in here. I think so. Oh, I guess I have to put in bread first, and then I can put in my villagers. Oh no, I think I have to right click the villagers like that. And then I can throw the food in there. And then I'll just keep doing just like that. Throw some food in there. Throw a couple villagers in there. And they'll start to breed. I think we need to get our power situated. So I want to get a little bit into the powah mod. I went ahead and made myself an energizing orb. And I'm going to set a few of these just starter energizing rods here. They're going to be super slow, but I'm going to try and get myself enough energized steel to be able to make the seeds. It requires 4 of the 1 times compressed blocks of each material to be able to get it. So it takes quite a bit. It's 18 of each block here. I believe is going to be enough there to be able to get us 1 seed of energized steel. I always seem to do this whenever I'm getting into the powah mod. I forget how annoying the crafting is without any kind of auto crafting. So we're gonna get into like a super basic auto crafting setup here. I'm gonna slap down this 16K crafting core that I made right there for crafting storage, and I'm gonna just put this ME pattern provider right underneath our energizing orb thing right here. I'm gonna set this to blocking mode enabled, so it'll say do not push crafting ingredients if inventory contains a pattern input, because you all know how this thing works. It's super finicky with auto crafting. And then we should be able to just run some cables down there to that. I don't think I have enough. We can try and make some more. I think I'm out of some of the things that we need though. Yeah, I'm definitely running low on some stuff, but I should be able to get enough to make a few more of these cables and be able to get that connected up. Oh wow, am I out of flux now? Okay, oh well, but I think that'll be enough. And I can just come down here, and honestly I'm just gonna come from the bottom like this for now. It's gonna be pretty ugly setup for right now because I just want to get this done so that we can get some power going. That should be good. And then I'm gonna need a pattern creator thing, whatever the terminal is called. I think it's just called a pattern terminal. So let me go ahead and get one of those. Basically now all I have to go through and set these patterns up for putting in there. I'm just gonna make one for each of the different items that will be auto crafting in this thing. I have a filtered item pipe here. It's set to blacklist and all of the crafting ingredients coming into a chest here, which has an import bus back into the system on the bottom of it. I think that should work. I should be able to request, like say I want to get one of the blazing things. I should be able to say, just go ahead and make me one of those. Hit start. It should come over here. It'll take a little while because our power setup is kind of terrible right now. But once that's done, it should get pulled over to this chest and back into the system. And then our craft will be complete. So it goes into the chest, back into the system, and the crafting status is empty. Also went ahead and added some molecular assemblers right here with some pattern providers in the middle. It's not a good setup for this. Don't worry, we'll fix it eventually. I'm just not worried about it right now. I'm kind of just trying to get something set up. I also set up an area over there where we're going to set up our reactors. But let's go ahead. I set up the ways to make some basic reactors. Let's go ahead and see if we can get 36 of those. That's enough for one reactor, right? So we're missing iron and uraninite, and thanks to some off-camera crafting, I've already got uraninite seeds, so that's super easy to get. And of course iron, we already have more than enough of that essence. I went ahead and brought a couple of seeds over here that I'm going to plant, but let's see if we can get this thing to craft 36 basic reactors now. There we go. Hit start, and it should go to town. I don't even think it's got to do any crafting over there. It should just be doing some crafting right over here, and it sure is. You can sit here and actually watch these things do their recipes. Pretty neat. And it'll be rolling through them pretty good because I've got 4 of these molecular assemblers. So seems like it's doing quite well, and there we go, we're already at 36 reactors. And the cool thing with these reactors is they actually literally build themselves. All you have to do is place down the middle block and they will build themselves completely. So this reactor has 5 inputs. It's got water, it's got uraninite, redstone, coal, and right here is a solid coolant, but we don't have ice or dry ice or anything like that quite yet. So I'm going to throw in the redstone, the coal. I'm going to throw in, okay, so you can't use blocks of uraninite. I was hoping you maybe could. But you can use regular uraninite. I'm going to throw that in there. That guy's going to start producing me some power. I already went ahead and hooked up a flux plug to it. This is the flux plug that was hooked up to the heat power over in the mining dimension. But that stuff sucked, so I just went ahead and moved it over to here. And this thing is producing a pretty decent amount of power. It's generating about 640 FE a tick. Kind of bounces around in that area. Since we don't have the solid coolant, it's not going to produce the max amount, but that will be enough that we can continue kind of progressing on and doing some more crafting. Got this bad boy upgraded to hardened for right now. It's making a pretty decent amount. It's generating 1.6 FE, 1.6 thousand FE. So not too bad. It can be better, but we'll keep working on that as we go. But guys, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I'm gonna continue kind of progressing a little bit in powah probably, and I might try and clean this up some. I really just need to expand the base some more. and of course continue working on our mystical agriculture. Guys, I do appreciate y'all watching very much. I hope that y'all enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, y'all.